So guys, this is kind of something I've been doing over the last couple of years. Like I've definitely like tested and tried different things. Probably a bit like you guys, like I'm a little bit of like a self-development junkie. So there's things that I have picked up from people that worked really well for me. And this is definitely like a work in progress, right? Because I think, whilst goal setting, like just reading one book on it and copying exactly what you want to do from that book isn't necessarily the best way. And what I present to you guys, like it's what's worked really well for me. Okay. So I don't want you to, again, take it like Bible and have to do it exactly the way I say. But I'm going to explain the reasons why I do things and why it kind of works for me. And then we're going to break it down into our business goals together. And then I'll kind of leave health, wealth, relationships to you guys. So the first thing, I'm not sure where I picked this up from, but firstly, reviewing your year to write like what you're proud of, the special like special moments and special memories that you have. So, I guess like to share a little bit of my stories, like there was times where I've like battled with depression and things like that, right? So, when you kind of feel like down in the dumps and you're just like, oh fuck, your life's so bad, like blah, 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 right? Is one of the things I have a book, right, of all the amazing memories and moments that I've had that have popped up with me since I was a kid and I could remember. So what I started to do is like whenever I felt like a little bit flat, and I still do it, like I don't really battle with depression anymore, but like say yesterday, like I felt like a little bit flat, been working like massive work hours and stuff. And sometimes I'll go back to this book and just read all the cool stuff you've done that you kind of forget. And it's a really, really amazing thing to do. So first of all, guys, what I would do, and you can do this in a 1 day period, like it won't take you a day, it'll take a couple of hours, or you can break it up segment by segment. But firstly, I want you to review what you're proud of this year, right? It can break down to the traits. Maybe, you've upskilled yourself as a salesperson, as a leader, you've learned new different marketing things, right? So things that you've learned, right? And then also like the special moments that you've had. So the way that I do this is I'll go through like our client group and things like that. I'll get to see everyone's amazing testimonials and, things that we've done and, selling my gyms and everything that happened. And then I'll also go through the photos in my phone, right? Because I like to take a lot of photos. You can let me know in the chat. You take a lot of photos, like, when you're at an event, we take a photo. So, it'll remind me of my uncle's wedding, which was absolutely amazing, and spending time with my parents and, training with 3 of my mates during coronavirus at the gym, and just all these little things like that, that by the time you kind of finish it, generally you'll have like a page, 2, maybe 3 pages, depending how big you write, of all these amazing moments, memories, and things that you are proud of that you've learned along the year. And that's just really to review your year. Okay. Then we go into where you think you can improve, mistakes you made, or areas you didn't take action on that you promised yourself you would. Because guys, no one's perfect, right? We all make mistakes. There's all things we need to improve on. And there's probably things within our life where you're like, hey, like I really wanted to take action on that, but I didn't. And you just want to kind of reflect on that. And it's not definitely to beat yourself up, but it's just to know that there is areas for improvement in all of us, all day around, like every day, there's things we can improve on. So that could be like, certain things you did, maybe like you didn't finish like a training program, or, a client left your program because of X reason. And, just things like that will kind of pop up for you. So that's going to be like your little dossier of your year, right? What went well and what didn't, pretty much. So that's like kind of your review. Now, then we're going to break down our goals, right, into 4 key areas, right? Business, wealth, relationships, and health. Okay. They're all the most important factors for having a really happy and vibrant life. Like if everything's working well in those 4 areas, right, you're going to be a very, very happy individual and a very well-rounded individual. You might have had times in your life where business is going really well, but the relationship with your partner is like, terrible, right? So you're not actually that happy, right? We want to keep everything, and, your health mightn't be where it is, or, you're worried about money, like things like that. So we want to keep everything on like a nice, even keel where it's all balanced and we're getting fulfilled in these 4 areas, because that is what will truly make us happy. Now, the way you do that, and I actually learnt this off Tony Robbins, it's one of the most powerful things that I believe we can do. So you're going to have like 4 pieces of paper, right? At the top, you're going to write business on one, then wealth, then relationships, then health, right? So business is business, right? Growing your business, getting new clients, making more money. Wealth, investing, buying properties, buying shares, whatever it is for you, whatever wealth is for you for your future generations. Relationships is, as we say, right? Our relationships maybe with our partner, with our friends, with our family, right? Relationships is what truly makes us happy, right? You have those 5 to 10 really strong relationships that you work and you invest time in, then you're going to be incredibly fulfilled no matter how, good or bad the other things are going. And then also your health, right? It could be, weight goals. It could be body fat. It could be strength goals, right? It could be just general kind of health stuff. As we get older, we start to think about health in a different way, about cardiovascular health and heart disease and things like that, right? Whatever health is to you. So then what you're going to do is a 10-minute brain dump, right? And what you're imagining is that if you sit here in a position in 12 months time and you could have achieved all these things in your business, right? What could they be, right? You might be like, I've added 100 new clients. I've learned how to run Facebook ads, like all these different things, right? And you'll usually come up with between 10 and 15, sometimes 20 things that you want to achieve over the next year in all these different topics. Right. But then what we want to do, and this is integrally important, is not try and chase 10 goals in each topic, right? Not try and have 10 business goals for the next year. So what we're going to do is circle and find the most important one to you that creates the biggest outcome within your life, right? And you've got this list of, 10, 15, 20 things, right? And you need to brutally cut things off and go, wow, this is actually the one that's going to make the biggest difference to my life, right? Over the next 12 months. Then we start to compress time, right? So we want to go, how can we reach our 12-month goals in 90 days, right? And we're going to break it down to who do we need to become, okay? Because any goal that you've set, if you were the person who deserved that goal, you would already have it, okay? So there has to be an internal transformation, right? Because otherwise you would already have it, okay? I hope that kind of makes sense. And that's not in a critical way. It's like, if you're the person who deserved to have 300 gym members, you'd already have it, right? So we're chasing something that we don't have already. And that means that we have to not change as who we are as people, but change who we are as leaders, as marketers, as salespeople, as husbands, as wives, right? Then you want to write down who can help you, right? Because in most goals, when you want to compress down time, it takes a mentor, it takes a leader, it takes maybe a couple of books that you read or a podcast, right? Because that's how you truly compress time by, say if I'll use a fitness one, right? Say if I was like, I want to, do an IFBB show, right? Obviously, I would reach out to my friend James Kent on that. He was like I think he was like the world champion on that, because he would compress my time, right? Because he's done it before, right? He's been there. He's been on stage like 4 or 5 times. You'd start to compress your time. And then we're going to break it down into what are some tasks you can do over the next 24 hours, 48 hours, 7 days, 28 days, and 56 days to be able to compress our goals into 90 days. Now, this is the thing. Some goals you won't be able to achieve in 90 days, right? Like if you want to add 250 members to your gym, it's very hard to do that in 90 days, right? But what we want to do is try to compress our 12-month goals into either a 90-day or a 180-day block. So then when every 90 days you reset goals, again, is you've started to hit these milestones and started to think bigger and broader. So that's always our goal, to compress everything down. And then we're going to set up some KPIs and milestones. So what we're going to do together, firstly, we're going to pick our business goals, right? And we're going to write all the business goals that we want to achieve